Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Trans Sisters TV. I'm Angel Qinan,
And
and
my
I'm going
name
to
is
pass the mic to Ally. Yes.
And my name is AllyCat Castle. Yes, and Angel is my real transgender sister in life. As you all know, welcome to Transgender TV's community gathering, where we gather every Sunday to discuss a very important topic. And today's topic is surgery or no surgery. And as you all know, we have our chosen family here, chosen family sisters, and they're also all proud transgender women of color, all the way from the Philippines and in different parts of the world as well. So I want to throw it back to you, Miss Angel or Miss Lee.
Yes, thank you very much for catching me. I was like doing my technical stuff here and I missed everyone. Sorry, last week we went on a little bit of vacation because it's Labor Day weekend and I was traveling and but thank you very much for being here tonight. And of course, let me introduce our co-host for tonight, Miss Lee Faelnar.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching after our break. Hope you had a nice break last week and hopefully you're excited to have us back. I'm Lee Faelnar. I'm an actor and model and I'm here in Los Angeles, California.
Yes. And of course, our other co-host, all the way from the Philippines, Miss Sonia, the only one.
Mabuhay, Yokozo! I'm Sonia, the only one, Sonia Agbayani, stylist, production, and of course now in Trans Sisters TV. And I missed my sister last week, but missing you, I miss you. And welcome!
Yes, thank you. So basically here we are starting the fall season. I mean, because here in the US, basically it was considered as kind of like after Labor Day, technically, like that was like the last weekend of summer, even if still a bit warm this September going to October. Yes. So should we go straight to the question? Let's just go straight to the question. So, surgery or no surgery? So, actually, wait. You know what? Let's just do a quick catch up. Angel, you were on vacation last week. How was it? If you can give us a quick recap.
So I love traveling and I had the opportunity to meet up with my friends in San Diego and it's so close to Mexico. So we actually crossed the border by foot. It's the first time I kind of traveled internationally by foot from the US side to the Mexico side, which is Baja California, which is like Tijuana, which is very popular for surgeries or black market surgeries or cheaper surgeries also in the people from California. So it's a very timely topic. I'm going to include that on some of my conversations tonight. But I had a great time last week. But again, I missed all of you. And thank you very much for being here today with us. And for listening.
Yes. How about you, Miss Lee? How was it? If you could give us a quick recap of how your little vacation was.
I'm tired. I barely had enough sleep, probably. But yeah, it was nice to finally be on a plane and travel. I have anxiety, as you all know, so it was like I was very anxious on the airplane. But it was nice to see my mom. We finally got to like play a little bit of piano. It feels nice. So I kind of videotaped it for posterity purposes so that at least I can have that when I feel sad and lonely and I miss her. So that was like a good, nice trip. I went to Tennessee actually, and I also went to Asheville, North Carolina, and we visited the Biltmore Estate, which is like 125,000 acre piece of land, which is huge. And actually the Biltmores, the Vanderbilts are related to Anderson Cooper in a way. So that was kind of fun to know.
Thank you. Thank you for that little history. Okay, Addison, how about you?
Oh, aside from missing you, my ladies, and you all would look rested. And of course, it was a week of typhoon here in the Philippines. So we were all at home. And of course, the lockdown, nothing has changed. And of course, we're all okay. And just being here and with you ladies and the audience.
Thank you, Addison. Yeah, yes.
And what about you, Ally?
And for me, basically, I just worked 3 days last week. But you know what? Last Friday, on September 10th, before 9/11, my best friend was so kind enough to invite me to watch a symphony concert of remembrance. So basically, it was great because it's kind of like my very first time to basically like watch a concert where they also celebrated all the healthcare workers. So Angel, thank you so much for everything that you do. And also to everyone who has sacrificed their lives during 9/11. We also paused and basically thought of the people who have passed away during 9/11 or everyone who have died, and also the families and friends that they've left behind. So to all of you, we're here and we're praying for you, and we are with you. And again, so hello to everyone
and
in our live
nice
chat.
legs, by the way, on that picture.
Yeah, so to Dale, thank you so much, Dale. And yes, thank you. That was like a dress that I bought like for, I believe, $15 in a neighborhood store when I used to live in Jersey City, New Jersey. Yes, so hello, Kuya Ram, on our chat room. And then to everyone who's watching, please join us again in our live chat because we would like to hear what you have to say on our topic, because we would like to share that. Because as you all know, this is a community gathering. Your voice matters, and it's great for if people could actually hear what you have to say as well, because it's not just about what we say, but it's also what you have to say. So the first question is, does a trans woman have to do bottom surgery to verify that she's a woman? Who wants to answer that first? Well, for me, a transgender woman doesn't need to do bottom surgery in order for someone to verify her as a woman. The fact that she transitioned, living her life as a woman every day, basically, you know what, makes her a woman. Because who you are is who you are in your mind and in your heart. And whatever it is that we have in our bodies, basically, that's just an accessory. That's just your genitalia. But your genitalia doesn't verify the person that you are. So that's my answer to that question. Who wants to go next? Angel or Lee?
Sure. I'll answer. So as what you said, I think it should not, like ideally, it should not matter if you've had the bottom surgery or not. Unfortunately, we still live in a society that's very fixated with the genitalia of a person being the the basis if somebody is a woman or not. And even if you go beyond that, some people will still kind of base it on what genitalia you were given at birth as the basis of your gender. But on an ideal world, it shouldn't be that, because it's what's in your heart and your mind, so it doesn't matter if you had a bottom surgery or not. You're a woman if you identify as a woman. So that's my take on that.
Thank you. Now, between Miss Lee and Miss Sonia, who wants to go first? Miss Lee? Oh, Miss Sonia, rather. Go ahead.
For me, it depends on the person if she wants to have a surgery or not. For me, I had my surgery, but did it define me as a woman? Because yeah, there was it defined me, it made me whole, but of course it depends on the person. But I did my surgery because I just want my genitalia to be changed, and I don't like it. So that's just it.
Well, we support you and we are happy for your decision, Ate Sonia. Yes! Thank you. Miss Lee, how about you?
I think we did touch on this before when we were talking about like a trans topic. And for us, gender identity doesn't have to be you having a certain type of genitalia. So I don't know if the term is to verify. That's kind of weird. It's like, do we always have to go through a verification process though? But like for me, some people need surgery, whatever surgery it is. It doesn't have to be top or bottom surgery or whatnot. It can just also be like facial reconstruction surgery and any type of surgery, so that somebody can affirm and feel more confident with the body that they have and like just give themselves more love. But is it necessary? Not for everyone. And no, it shouldn't be.
So they actually said in Miss Universe Philippines that transgender women are welcome to basically join Miss Universe Philippines. So the thing was, they actually said that in order for you to be a contestant, you need to have bottom surgery. What's your take on that?
I think the Philippines is a Catholic country and it's still very conservative. So it will be hard to change that. But again, if I go back to my ideals, ideally, then it should not matter on what the genitalia is. They should allow trans women because we are women, and it's a woman pageant, you know. So I think it should not matter, but unfortunately, I understand why it's hard for that to happen yet at this time for that particular pageant.
I want to piggyback on what Angel said. So basically, it's kind of like a move forward, or you know what? It's like, thank you so much for Miss Universe Philippines for acknowledging transgender women can join the pageant. However, them saying that that transgender women should have bottom surgery, I do agree that. So why limit it on that? You know, I mean, like, are you scared that during the swimsuit competition there's going to be a bulge just in case? Is that really the issue here? Because really, like, once they're there on stage, it's not like as if everyone is on a swimsuit. I guess if someone can talk just as good, you know, I mean, you know, again, transgender women, you just say that they are women. But then again, as a Catholic country nation in the Philippines, you know what, it's like a little bit hard. It's like moving forward, but it's like, you know, so yeah. So thank you, but not thank you. Miss Lee and Miss Sonia?
So yeah, I do agree with you both. Again, I think like we're still stuck on the some sort of ideals that like, or some sort of type of stereotypes of what gender is. Again, also surgery, especially in the Philippines, it's not like any type of transgender healthcare. I'm not 100% sure, but there's limited access to transgender healthcare in the Philippines. So for somebody to have any type of surgery done in the Philippines, that means they have to have money. And that's also limiting access. And that's also a certain type of classism, because that means like you need to have a certain type of income or income level so that you can compete into a pageant. Although, like we all know, pageants cost money, y'all. But also, there's not only in pageants are there types of discrimination when it comes to like genitalia and stuff, even like in shows like RuPaul's Drag Race. It's only now that actually they're having an AFAB queen join in the UK rendition of Drag Race. Like, you know, a trans man, Gottmik, was in season 13. And recently, like on All-Star 6, Sonique, which I think joined also Queen USA back in 2016 when you were a contestant, Angel, just recently won All-Stars. So like, you know, we're still breaking barriers when it comes to stuff, because like people are so fixated about body and surgeries and all of that.
Thank you, Miss Lee. And Miss Sonia, how about you?
Oh, I would like to thank Miss Universe Philippines for acknowledging transgender women, but of course it will be a long process yet, but it is only a dot first, so eventually it will become an exclamation point. So we will be there. We will be there. So thank you for the acknowledgement, Miss Universe Philippines. And I think the transgender women, as I've heard, she was part of the 100 process, 100 candidates process, but she didn't meet it. Yes. So, as I've heard, I've talked to a friend that she said, yes. But thank you for acknowledging that we will be there. As Miss Lee, we're breaking barriers.
So to Miss Universe Philippines for acknowledging that one person, if that is true, thank you so much for that, considering the transgender woman in the top 100. Thank you. So now let's read some comments. Yes, by the way, to everyone, if you're enjoying this hot conversation, please support this by giving us a like as well. Of course, that would really help the algorithm of YouTube to share this to everyone in the world. And now let's read some comments. By the way, hello to Miss Nikki Despi and hello Elvira. Yes. So Nikki said, if you are happy with what you have become, then stick with it. Why do you have changed a whole lot when you are born to stand out? Yes, when you are born to be a unicorn. There you go. Thank you for that, Miss Nikki Daspi. And if you have any questions regarding our topic, please type the question as well on the live chat. Yes. So now the question is surgery for everybody? Well, for me, surgery is a choice. So for me, I'm pro surgery as well. I think at the end of the day, if you think that that's what's going to complete you as a person, whether you're a man or a woman, then you should do it. Because at the end of the day, your happiness first, your contentment first matters. So whatever surgery it is that you decide to do, then go for it. Because you know what? That's you. And if that's what's gonna make you happy, go for it. Next.
I don't think surgery is for everybody. Obviously, before undergoing a surgery, they would see you. You do a consult. They do your blood work. They have to see that you're in good health condition to undergo a general anesthesia. There's a lot of things that you are also doing to your body whenever you do surgery. So it's not for everybody. We already spoke about like the cost of it. And unfortunately, not everybody has access to healthcare and has access to money that would allow you to have the surgery. So, I mean, unfortunately, even if they want to do the surgery, maybe it's not yet the right time to do the surgery at that time. I've heard multiple, stories about people saving money for the surgery, or even going to the black market or outside, like to do surgeries. And I just mentioned earlier about Tijuana because I've heard a lot of stories about people getting this surgery there because it's so much cheaper. It's like 10 times cheaper than how much it is in the United States. And because it's a black market, you're not protected under things, and then it could be dangerous to your body and everything. So I think surgery is not for everybody in those circumstances about your health and about your finances. I'm sure there's other things going on there, but I am pro having a choice to do surgery, and not everybody has to do surgery. It really depends on how you feel with your body, or if it's really gonna give you a better life doing the surgery. So I think we have to carefully consider all of the different things that will happen to your body, to your finances, to everything before actually doing the surgery. But if that is truly what's in your heart and what's going to make you better as a person and live your life better, then go for it. I support you with that.
Thank you for that thorough answer, Miss Los Angeles Angel Qinan. Now, who wants to go next? Is it Miss Sonia the only one, or Miss Leaf El Norte? I guess Miss Lee is on, so go ahead, Miss Leaf El Norte.
So I don't think, how am I gonna phrase this? As much as so here's the thing. For you to be a woman or a man, you really don't require any type of cosmetic surgery or reconstructive surgery for you to be seen as such. However, I feel like it should be, you should have access to surgery when you need it, and especially for when it comes to like your mental health and whatnot, like things like that should be accessible, and you shouldn't have to pay an arm and a leg for you to be able to have access to certain types of things so that you can feel and be your like 100% utmost as you can, and so that you don't have to resort to black market surgeries like Angel has mentioned. So I feel like surgery should be for everybody, and everyone should have access to surgery, but you're not required to have surgery to be seen or to be treated as the person that you identify, or you are the person that you are. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's for all but not a requirement. Thank you, Miss Leaf El Norte, also from Los Angeles, also known as Miss J. Harley Talks. Now, back to Miss Sonia, the only one. Yes.
Yes, of course. Surgery. Of course, as my sister said, it is a choice. It is a very risky decision. So you have to be not only financially strong, but you have to be very physically and mentally ready for it. You just don't go into dive into the pool and just rise from it and everything's fine. No, the surgery is just the process, and the process begins after the surgery. So it does not end if you had the surgery already. It is the journey that will follow after the surgery. So you have to think once, twice, thrice. And better go to a very reliable doctor, hospital, or surgeon because your life will be at risk. And that's all.
I love what Ate Sonia said. I think that's an eye-opener when she said that the process begins once you do surgery, and it's a process after you do the surgery. Thank you for reiterating that, Ate Sonia, and how important it is to think thoroughly several times before you go through the knife. Yes, now let's read some comments. Yes, we have some hot comments right now. And one of the comments is for Miss Lena. Miss Lena said, surgery is not for everyone, my opinion. Thank you, Miss Lena. And Miss Elvira said, not at all. The surgery is only for the people who choose it. Not everyone wants to change their genitalia, and to accept the additional risks make it very questionable. But I'm afraid that many of the community get into trans medicalism many times. And honestly, that scares me. There we go. Oh, hi to Sir Ram, by the way, Mr. Rampage Math. Yes, and Sir Ram said, great discussion. Thank you, Sir Ram. Yes, my math teacher all the way when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, that was like 30 years ago. Yes. So now, the question is, why do surgery matter to people who do it?
I'll talk from experience. Like when I started transitioning, I felt very not complete without having a top surgery at that time. I was new in transition and I was still dating. So on those times that I would be dating somebody, I feel like every time I would take my top off, like the shirt, I feel like it's like, I feel like I'm like I just lost or something like that. Like I felt like I look so complete, and then once it comes off, I feel like, oh my God, I'm being judged right now. And because I am actually judging myself at that time, so maybe not necessarily the people that I was dating at that time. So I know I have body dysphoria at that time with my top surgery. I felt like in terms of the trans community, like during that time, it was more common to see that the people who are trans would want the top surgery, and those who doesn't take the top surgery is because they cannot afford it financially. It's at that time that insurance does not cover any transgender surgeries yet. So I felt like for sure I need to do the top surgery so that I can feel complete at that time, so that I can feel more confident about myself, so I can feel more confident with my dating at that time. And I did it. And I chose to do the surgery instead of using it as a down payment for a property at that time, because my goals at that time was myself. So I actually focused on myself at that time. And so that's one reason I think on why people would choose on why they do surgeries. It's because I felt incomplete. I felt like I needed that to complete myself.
But I support you with that, Angel, because you know what? Sometimes we need to do what's best for us in the present time, because how can you move forward if in the present state you're not happy? But if you actually have the means to make yourself happy at the present state, then that will make you eventually like move forward, because you basically feel all that confidence, all that validation in yourself. So I'm actually very proud of you of making that decision for yourself, Angel. Miss Lee?
Thank you. And I don't have regrets. I'm very happy with doing it. On the hindsight though, like later on, I know that that it's not a requirement. Like if I didn't have the surgery today, like on my current state of like confidence and kind of acceptance with myself, I probably would not like make that like decision as a basis of making myself feel complete. But it already happened, and I'm very happy. And now I can wear a swimsuit with, my babies.
Yes, thank you for that, Angel. Miss Lee, is there something you wanted to say? Why do surgery matter to those who do it?
I just think I often see that people like trans people who undergo surgeries so that they can get affirmation of their gender identity. It's more like me needing surgery because I need a knee replacement or something, a bone broke. It's the quality of life. I need that so I can live my life into the fullest. And with all those type of surgeries, whether you do LASIK, whether you do like something like for fixing your bunion when you get older, blah, 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 this and that, all of those have recovery periods and all of those have certain risk attached to them. But again, for somebody to be able to live their life, the quality of life that they deserve, it just they just require some extra steps so that they can have that for themselves. And I feel like sometimes like we always think, like I feel like there's a thing where like, oh, it's an elective surgery, which like I think it is, but for some it's not. Because I feel like if you don't get that type of surgery, you're not going to reach the level of your potential. And I feel like sometimes we just really need to like think about like, you know, somebody like helping somebody so that they can reach their utmost potential.
Thank you for that, Miss Lee. Miss Sonia, I definitely would like to hear what you have to say.
Oh,
Why do surgery matter to those who do it?
it is just as simple as if for their self-satisfaction, like their, as Miss Lee said, is their affirmation. And you know, if something that you mean that you need for yourself, for your additional plus in your life, why not and do it and use it in a very nice and good way. So I think it can be beautification surgery. It can be correction of something wrong in your body because, you know, just as long as it will make good in your life and yourself also. And ladies, I during my Japan days, because I was an OFW, I was with surgery. I was around with surgery people. So
I want to ask you, did you do surgery at Sonia because the people around you did a lot of surgery?
It was an inspiration, but even though I had the finances, I have everything, but I said it will come in a better time, in a better moment that I will have my surgeries. Not at this moment because I have responsibilities. So when everything was in timing, I just did it. But
so I want to ask you,
not in one sweet thing. It was a process. It was like this one first, this one first, this one first. Yes.
Okay, and I want to ask this as well. I know Angel has a question. Do you want to ask it, Angel, or can I quickly answer her a question as well to her?
Well, mine is not a question. So basically, I heard her say that it's a correction. So I actually, when I did the top surgery, I did say that it's not breast augmentation, it's breast correction because it was wrong at that time. So I wanted that term also to kind of pop on our conversation because I did call it a breast correction in my case. And as I don't know, I guess I didn't really choose the biggest one. I just wanted to be a feminine one that I don't have to worry about that whenever I walk outside.
And there you go. I love that. It doesn't mean that just because you do the surgery, then you need to go XXL. Yes. You know, you do what's best for you. And Ate Sonia, I just want to ask, so are you happy that you've done the surgery? I just want to ask, because Angel said that she's happy, that no regrets. How about you? Are you happy and you live no regrets after doing your surgery?
I think she has background noise at this time.
Okay, so while
no, just kidding.
So while Ate Sonia is the you know what is there you go. Can you answer it now?
No regret. Well, I'm just human. I cannot say that I have after the surgery. Wow, everything is perfect. Wow, everything is wow. I'm privileged. I have this. I have this. No, as I've said, it was a process, and as my doctor said, Doctor Pricha in Thailand, he is in the he is in the aesthetic industry in Thailand. You can Google him, and I still talk to him because he knows about my body. On those days, they call us second type women. So because those days, it was the 90s. Yeah, 2000, I think. So I will not be a hypocrite and said everything is perfect in my life. No, no, it's not perfect. It is still the same. You still feel what is happening in your life. You feel the sadness, the everything. It is you cannot fool yourself that it is something's perfect. So am I contented? Of course, because it is a thing that I really wanted. I really pursued it and achieved it. So and I did it, as Miss Angel said, we did it for ourselves because it's self-satisfaction. So for me, this is what I want. So I'm just experiencing the ups and downs of life. That's what I can say. But I tried to overcome it and manage it. And there was also a point in my life I was just really devastated. But you just have to really feel it. And I've said, and just follow your heart and your mindset and what God says. So, and remind you, girls, as I said, it is a process. It is a process. And as my doctor said, when he always says after everything, the checkup, and I go back to the place, said, take care of your body, take care of yourself, because that's the important thing.
Guys, so far, what I'm getting through with our conversation, whether you do surgery or not, taking care of yourself is the number one thing. So whether that be you do surgery or not, taking care of yourself first is what matters. So now let's read some comments. Yes. So Miss Elvira Stina said, because it is not just a physical trait for them, it is what enables them to see themselves as they really are. And hello to Edward. Edward said, Kylie so unique. Love the first ever trans woman to win RuPaul's Drag Race. Congrats to the entire trans community. Thank you. Michael Gregory, hello as well. And then Edward said, why do surgery matter? And he said, 3 words for me. Confidence, completion, validation. Thank you. And Edward also said, most transgender I know are uncomfortable with surgery discussions. This is a very sensitive topic. I am glad that you guys are talking about this. Kudos. Kudos to everyone as well for participating in our community gathering discussion. So the next question is, why can surgery be so addicting? I think it's because when you are successful at your first surgery, let's go for more. Yes. And sometimes, you know what, nowadays, more can be more. Yes. What do you guys think? Angel, sleep, that is fun.
Yes, I'll go first. I am a witness of more surgery, and when I was in that industry of being with the we are a room full of just surgery blasted here in this dressing room. So it's like, oh my God. When somebody goes back to the place and returns, I had my new nose, I had my new so is this the answer? What I don't know anymore. What? Okay. So if you have the means, and it is, as I said, it's beautification. So when you want something beautiful and more, they just do it until they're not satisfied.
Love that. Ate Sonia, more, my gosh, right? In the entertainment industry. And yeah, I can see why. Okay, Angel, Miss Lee, how about your take? Why can surgery be so addicting?
I think for certain people that becomes like part of their collection. And it's just like I mean that like in the most loving way. And it's just, and that's probably like few and far in between, because there probably are more like different underlying stuff that I probably don't know because I haven't met somebody like super addicted to it. And probably also I would think, in my personal opinion, some of it is because it's their way so that they can become more viable and source of income. I would say, like, for people, like for trans people, especially in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like being stealth was something that was very important. So like the more that you can be stealth, the more able that you would be able to succeed in life because you won't be discriminated against. But that's changing now. So I just feel like sometimes it depends generation from generation. It can be an armor so that you can feel more protected. It can be a source of income. And for some other people, it's just like buying a new pair of shoes. And that gives them so much joy and satisfaction that they keep on doing it. I mean, let's all watch Botched and see like what the reasons are so that we can like figure stuff out more, you know?
Exactly. I love that. Yes.
It's so
Miss
funny,
Angel.
like Lee, I actually laughed when Lee said it's like
Or
a
the
collection.
swan.
I started thinking
In
about
the swan.
I started thinking about like Little Mermaid. Like, wouldn't you think my collection's complete? And we were just talking about like, you know, feeling complete actually in the trans community. So it's just interesting how it kind of matches like when you mentioned that. But I mean, I probably won't know like what goes on in other people's heads when they start doing more surgeries. But again, I will just base it on my experience and like kind of what Lee said. Like if it's a source of income, then maybe that also plays a big role. Like when I was pursuing acting more, like I feel like if I'm pursuing acting in the Philippines, I would have done my nose job already because it seems like it's very common. It's like kind of accepted. Luckily, I'm here in the United States, and it kind of makes me more stand out actually that I don't have the same like tall nose as everybody else. I know for comfort and for easier lifestyle, like with going back to my top surgery, like one of my friends that I spoke to before taking the top surgery, one of her comments to me was, when I did my top surgery, life was so much easier. I don't have to put on a bra and the stuffing every time I have to go out, even just to throw trash on the trash can. Because I can just put on a shirt and it's already there, and I can just go out anytime I want, and I can like, you know, do my own thing outside. So actually it made my life so much easier because I feel like I don't have to worry about that part of my life daily on a daily basis. If I'm so worried about my nose and I have to contour my nose every day, you know, I have to do this, then maybe it will make my life easier. Who knows? I don't know. It's not, you know, again, I feel like if it's beneficial for you and you don't really and the benefits outweighs kind of like the things that
The
affect
cons?
you negatively, then I think it can be. I don't want to use the word addicting because obviously addiction has a negative connotation, but it could be something that will be taken more lightly. That surgery is not a big deal. So maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that because it's not a big deal. Lee mentioned like LASIK earlier, like, you know, so laser hair removal, for example, I've done that because I don't want that hardship of like plucking my hair every day. You know, I had my eye surgery also done, like, so I don't have to put my contact lenses on every day. So if it does help you in the long run and again, the benefits outweigh the consequences, then it's your choice and I support that.
Pro-choice, yes. So now, let me actually read some
Sonia?
comments. By the way, did anyone want to say something? Okay, so let me read some comments. What Miss Julie Ryerson said. Hi, Miss Julie. She said, while I've lived most of my life without any surgery, it wasn't a choice for me. I'd love to do it, mostly because of dysphoria about my body. I want to be more like my sisters and other women. Just so you know, Miss Julie, You are beautiful just the way you are in our eyes, and we love you for everything that you are. And then what Elvira Stina said, oh my gosh, our very vocal friend, very vocal sister here said, this is a really very serious issue. Getting addicted to surgery or makeup or in any kind of act in order to change your appearance is a kind of illness. You can never accept yourself as you are. Always going to be focusing on the flaw that you think are flaws. The solution is to draw a very distinct silver lining between obsession and addicting. The thing here is to find equilibrium between the right amount of both. Wow. And then Mr. Ram said, oh, he actually has a question. Is there discrimination among the trans community if one has surgery or not? Or is it regarded as social status also? How much is the surgery in the USA? So who wants to answer that question? So first, his question was, is there discrimination among the trans community if one has surgery or not? And the second one is it regarded as social status also? And how much is it? Go ahead.
Within the trans community, so I think in the present time, it's not as prevalent. I don't think it's that important now. Like I said before in the past, oh my God, that's redundant. Anyways, but before.
How far back it is.
Before, probably 10, 20 years ago, being stealth was such a commodity because you don't want to be discriminated and lose jobs and opportunities and whatnot, that there can be a little bit of discrimination for people that aren't it's not necessarily surgery. It's more if you're able to become stealth or not, or you're seen as stealth and whatnot. So for a lot of people, you need to do surgery so that you can be considered stealth. So there's that type of thing. So I feel there is a little bit of discrimination, especially when you're trying to safeguard the stuff that you have. I said, as a protection. Hopefully that changes, and I think it's already starting to change right now. And how much is the surgery? It depends what surgery you want. I don't know how it costs for trans men to have bottom surgery. But I know it's top surgeries anywhere from 5,000, I guess, to 10,000. But some insurance covers it now. I think Kaiser is the best for it, especially for bottom surgery for both trans men and women. So it's kind of cool that some insurance companies do cover it. But if you're gonna pay out of pocket, anywhere from 15, 25, 40,000 even.
Okay, I want to answer his question as well. Is there discrimination among the trans community if one has surgery or not? The problem is in our society, and I want to piggyback a little bit on what Lee said about living a stealth life. Living a stealth life almost means that you're unclockable. People cannot tell that you're trans. This is almost how prevalent it is as well in the society, that if someone doesn't pass in public as kind of the standard of looking like a woman, then a lot of the people, and I don't know of, especially when I used to do for retail, would mock them and would judge them. You know what I would say? The fact that that person chose his or her life to be trans is the most beautiful thing ever, because you know what? That person chose to be himself or herself. So when you see someone live their truth, please don't mock them, because you know what? They also deserve to live a life the same as you. They deserve the same happiness as you. They deserve the same choices as you make every day. So that's my answer to that question. Who wants to go
to that? So for those who discriminate, you have to listen to Ally. But to answer that question, I mean, discrimination happens everywhere. It not just in the trans community. It also happens in the pageant world. We kind of knew that in the 90s when we were watching Miss Universe, how Miss Venezuela looked at the local pageant versus on the national on the national pageant versus on the international pageant. And now in the Philippines, it's also common to like see surgeries on our pageant contestants, which makes them, maybe more beautiful, more winnable, or whatever. But um, so I'm sure there's also some sort of discrimination with that. I mean, just in the trans community, for example, something like when I was new and starting, there's already a big discrimination just with hair. Like, oh, she's still wearing a wig, versus, so I'm sure it still happens right now that in terms of, oh, she's like wearing socks under, or whatever they would like say. So I'm sure it happens. One of the things I asked my surgeon before, because he used to judge a lot of the transgender pageants here in Los Angeles, is that what is the biggest difference you've seen from people joining the pageants before and joining now on the transgender pageants in Los Angeles? And he would say that there's so much surgery now on the pageant contestants. So obviously you're being judged there and you're being discriminated if you don't have the perfect 8 body or whatever, So definitely I think discrimination is still there within the community and outside the community and in any community in terms of surgeries. And but that doesn't make it right. And as again what Ali said, hopefully you shouldn't discriminate everybody by choosing surgery or not.
Yes. And again, to Miss Sonia, the only one, what is your take on Sir Ram's question?
Yes.
And again, I want to repeat his question. Is there discrimination among the trans community if one has surgery or not? Or if it's regarded as a social status?
Especially in the Philippines, maybe because you will have a different point of view there.
Yes. As you've said, discrimination is everywhere, not just in our community, in every community. So, in it, as now, surgery is very very prevalent. It's everywhere. It's just like 3-in-1 coffee. It's just like buying soft drinks. You can have surgery. It's like you just put a coin in a juice machine, and then hey, I want a new nose. I want to but. I think discrimination. No, in the Philippines, the community always jokes around. Oh, you need a new nose. It's just like they're very vocal. So, and they have their own people they look up to in the pageant world, in their in this little trans sisters wants to become trans ladies. They see somebody they look up to. Are they discriminated? They're just people just being vocal. Like, you need a new nose, you need this boob, you need this hips, you need this hip. So it is more vocal now, but that's not discriminating. But I think before, as Miss Lee said, our before in the 90s, and surgery was very secretive. It is a very private thing that you don't really be very vocal about what you do, even not in our community, but also in other communities. So you cannot say if it is discriminating, or you're just telling people that you need to correct what you look like. Is that discriminating? I don't know, because I matured in a world of surgery. So as for our group, it's just like very normal if somebody gets a boob job, hip job, but it was the 90s. So I think the main thing that in the 90s, it was just like very private, very secretive. We have a surgery. You don't have to be very, even in show business, you never knew who had surgery because they're so beautiful. But they always said, I was born like this. Oh, before you will believe it, but now, hello.
That's true.
And I think to answer your question, Ate Sonia, I think it depends on how you say it to the other person, if it's discrimination or not. So if they say, oh my God, you need a new nose, versus Since you asked me, I think it will enhance your beauty. So it kind of depends on what your relationship with the other person and how it's said or how it came up on the conversation. If you're already talking about surgeries right now and you kind of ask the other person like, what do you think like with this and that, then you kind of ask for it, so it's okay to say it. But if you say randomly out on the street and oh my god, that girl needs a nose job. And I think that's discrimination.
So question, ladies.
I have a story.
Wait. Before you say your story, because we just have 10 minutes left, so we really need to like almost kind of like if you have something to say, it needs to be like really like concise and let me read some comments first. Edward said, I love those questions. Sir Ram. And then Elvira said, yeah, that's a really good question. And then, oh my gosh, even Miss Julie said, Rampage Math, there is unfortunately, but not a lot. Michael Gregory said, I think the stuff trans people go through in terms of surgery should be covered by single-payer healthcare. I support Medicare for all. And Miss Julie said, the surgery is very complicated, so get the best that you can, as where everyone's saying. If you have the power to do it, go to the best doctor. Edward said, someone who lives with debilitating insecurity feels better about their appearance after surgery. But whatever makes the person happy, go for it. It's your body and your money that you spent. And Michael said, there are trans men like Blair White who are bigots towards non-binary people and trans people who don't look cis. Oh, wow. Thank you for pointing that out, Michael.
Blair White is a big YouTuber, and she's very controversial. I need I say more? Thank you for pointing that out, Michael. Yeah, I cringe when I hear Blair White stuff too. She's pretty though. I'm not gonna take that away from her. She got the goods. She looked good.
And to personally answer Sir Ram's question, again, is there discrimination among the trans community if one has surgery or not? I'll be honest with you, it's not just within the trans community. Even I myself, I feel blessed or happy with the way I present myself. A lot of people still ask me why I'm wearing this bandana for like the rest of my life. I'll be honest with you, I do want to get like hair surgery because I do have like a very high forehead. I don't like my hairline, but this is what saves me for now. But I'll be honest with you, I don't have the luxury of time to take off from my job to do the surgery. But you know what? I'll make do of this. And if this is something that I need to wear for the rest of my life because I don't really have the time to do it, then I'm okay with that. I will live with my insecurity and I will just work on what I can work best. But yes, so even not just in the trans community, it's everywhere. And I do get that question a lot as well. Why do I actually wear my bandana a lot? So that's how I'm going to answer that question. So the next question. Oh, anyone has a question?
By the way, before... I was gonna piggyback with what Angel said when it comes to the wig because I experienced that. Like we would go to a straight club. Like me and my friends would go to a straight club. Like we would go clubbing, and sometimes like if we have people that we know even come to a club and we know that they're wearing a wig or whatnot, we're gonna start saying like, oh my god, they smell like nylon already. So like I feel like back in the day I was part of Mean Girls, and we would slowly disperse because no one wanted to get clocked. And we just like, so I like, that's like a form of discrimination. And I was also a part of it. Although I didn't see it as such, I felt like it was just protecting myself during that time. But like, yeah, like there's so much like, and that was like maybe 10 years ago. So like, it's still prevalent, and I'm sorry. And I'm guilty of it.
And I want to piggyback on what Lee said. Angel, you're saying something?
I think Ate Sonia had a question, but anyways, you can...
Okay, but before Ate Sonia asked the question, I want to piggyback on what Lee said. I remember during my earlier days, I had a really good wig. My best friend, who's an amazing hairstylist, Daniel, thank you. He made a wig for me. And you know what? My fellow trans community, especially in the Filipino community, they called me a wigamba queen because I wore like good wigs. And then that's how they treated me. Like, yeah, she may look good, but she's wearing a wig. So you get what I mean? So even I myself felt that way before. I was discriminated a lot, even until now. Miss Sonia, what is it? You wanted to ask or say?
Oh, I just want to ask questions. Did you undergo surgery? If you have a choice, would you do it? my
I'm sorry?
surgery.
Can you
You were
repeat the
cutting
question because there
off.
was like a glitch in the
Oh, sorry.
technology in the connection?
If you have a chance, would you also do what I have gone through, my surgery? Would you do that also?
Is this for everybody? The question?
Yes.
I'm
Angel, Ali.
pro-choice. If the time comes that I need to do what I gotta do, I will do what I gotta do. But right now, I'm happy with the way I am. Angel, Miss Lee.
Yeah, I don't think it's like the right timing for me, but like when I have the means and opportunity, and I feel like I have like the mental, like you said, like you need to be mentally prepared for certain things. If I have all of those aligned, then why not? I think like it's gonna make a major difference in my life, but like also at the same time, I'm really happy at where I am right now. So it's like a two-way thing.
I don't
Angel?
feel the need right. I don't feel the need right now. I feel like I'm a complete woman as myself today.
And thank you for asking that question, Miss Sonia. That's like a very important question.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Thank
now
you.
I wanna ask the final question. When can surgery be too much? For me, if it's going to affect the way you're gonna live your life, like for example, if the doctor already says perhaps that, you know what, this is really, really like risky if you'd really do it, I think that's also the time sometimes that we need to listen to our doctor, not just like on the things that we want. That's the reason why I think sometimes, as patients, we sign a lot on these papers that like if something happens, because yeah, so that's my take. I mean, like when sometimes we need to listen to them as well. But again, at the end of the day, it's also hard because we also need to do what's best for ourselves. So when can surgery be too much? Angel, Lee, to Sonia, and to all of our brothers and sisters in the chat room.
I think it's like a case-to-case basis for each individual. I feel lucky and blessed to have you guys as my friends, and to have my family, and to have a partner, and to have people who would tell me if I'm doing things too much already. And I would listen and I would take all of the opinions into consideration. But again, in the end, I will probably make my own decision and I will be responsible for my decisions if I choose to do a surgery or not. So I feel like it's a case to case basis, and hopefully, you surround yourself with people who love you and who would actually tell you that it's too much if it's actually too much in their eyes as well. So it's hard to say on when. I think if you're very, like, if you decide to do surgery rather than and risk your health, we've heard so many people who kind of go under the knife and then pass away because of the things, being so if there's a lot of warnings already and you're not able to step back and kind of choose wisely, I think that's too much already. But again, it's kind of a case to case basis. So I don't have a blanket answer for it.
Yeah, I agree with Angel. Like it really depends. Like you can't pinpoint one answer to a certain individual. Everybody should be different. Everyone should be treated differently when it comes to surgical issues. But I would also say like when I would think like surgery would be too much if I'm not doing it if they're for myself anymore. If I'm being forced to do it, or if somebody is telling me I'm not gonna get a certain I'm not gonna get something if I don't do this type of surgery or whatnot, then I'm not really doing it for myself anymore and I'm being forced to do it. So I think that's too much when it becomes a choice of somebody else and not myself.
Thank you. Miss Sonia.
Yes, too much. It's so hard to say to a patient that it's too much, especially it is their need instead of their want. I think it's becoming a need. So it is a very sensitive issue, especially those who really wants who are very, very fond of doing the surgery. So I think the best thing that I can say is you just have to think twice, thrice, or fourth or fifth, and look at the mirror. Look at the mirror, and if you think that it is enough already, but I think the doctors also say that that I think it's too much. But sometimes, it's a job they do, so it's the money. So if my patient wants it, then the doctors that will do it. I had experiences, especially, but I had not me, but I've seen a lot.
Thank you for that, Ate Sonia. Wow. I know that this has been so serious right now, but we have a very good question and a very good comment. Edward said, it's 2021. Surgery should be normalized. It's too much when you overspend already. Yes, there you go. And Elvira said, breast augmentation and SRS are my top and the only ones I'll ever gonna do. Oh, Elvira actually answered Sir Ram's question. Sir Ram, or Rampage Math, by the way, has a YouTube channel, Rampage Math. You can check him out, all the math lessons. Amazing, my teacher. Yes. And so Rampage Math question is, last question for all. If given unlimited funds, what's your ultimate surgery wish list? Wish list, name your top 2. I just have one wish list. If I have all the money in the world, I really just want to have like the best hairline and really, 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 really big hair. Yes, there you go. That's going to make me so happy. Angel, Lee, and Sonia.
Again, I'm happy with because I think I can afford a surgery if I want a surgery right now. But the one wish that I would want for a surgery right now is for them to have a safe hip surgery. But I feel like the choices out there are not as many yet. So I think that would be the one thing I would think about.
I think, Angel, there's already hip implants that are done in certain parts of Europe, depending on the
I'm
doctor.
not yet. Yeah,
and
I'm not convinced because I want for it to be very acceptable already. For example, the nose job has been done so many times universally, so that's very acceptable. And the top surgery have been done so many times and so much, So I kind of want it to be that way already. So I'm glad that they're starting that, and I hope a lot of people get it first before I start considering it. But but if there's one of the things, then that will be the body part that I would want to kind of do something about. But I'm happy right now, so I'm not that.
Yes, the hips. Okay, Miss Lee.
If I'm given unlimited funds, I probably would use that for my mental health first and seek top-notch therapist, because I need to make sure I have, like I said, I have body dysmorphia, and I don't want to go through a surgery and later have to have mental issues dealing with what Ate Sonia said, the process of healing and whatnot that you also have to undergo. But bottom surgery is one of them, and why not have more hair? It'll be fun. It's more is more is more, and you can do more hairstyles, and I can learn
hair
more stuff to do with my
extensions.
hair.
Yes. How about you, Ate Sonia? If you have all the money, what are the top 2 surgeries according to
sharing my hair? I'm sharing my hair. Well, if I have all the money, unlimited funds, I think I am contented already what I've done to my body. So I'll just share it to somebody who needs a surgery or something. So I'm fine with what I've already achieved. So I'm okay. And I'll age gracefully and watch myself age gracefully. So I'm fine. I'm fine. No need for any. So I'll just share who needs to be the swan.
And that's why we have Ate Sonia here, because she has the most golden heart of the 4 of us here. There you go. Yes, we need to learn from her. She really lives her life like a queen, and she really thinks of everyone all the time. On that note, thank you so much. Please promote yourselves. Go ahead, Angel, Lee, Ate Sonia, and your last words, and please promote yourself.
I'm Angel Qinan from Los Angeles, California. My Instagram is Angel Qinan. That's Angel Qinan. Our picture is on Memphis Museum in Tennessee. So hopefully, if you're from there, you should go visit and see us there.
Yes. And Miss Lee?
Lee065 on Instagram. What else? I actually like y'all like have to promote yourselves right now because like I actually am promoting everyone on the live chat because like they've done like so good in like asking questions, and if you can just like continue to ask questions like that so that we can like keep it going for you and keep the show running, that would be great. And my final thoughts towards surgeries is, yeah, like I still really think that there should be no stigma on like doing surgeries, especially if it's for your own self-care. And I also really do hope that it can, like insurance can cover all sorts of surgeries, especially for trans, non-binary folk and also intersex people as well.
Yes, I love that. Well, as for me, my final thoughts about like surgery, if it's your ultimate happiness to do it, like go for it. But always remember, for every decision that you make, we face all the consequences for it as well. So really think through and through before making this decision, just like what Ate Sonia said as well. And again, my name is AllyCat Castle. Again, if you enjoyed our community gathering here, please give it a thumbs up, please. We would really, really like appreciate it. And please make a comment as well. And also, please support me as well on my YouTube channel, AllyCat Castle. I'm gonna have new episodes this week. So the other episode will be Makeup Times DC Life, where while I'm doing my makeup, I'll be talking about my week in DC. That's about like my fashion find, my restaurant finds, and also my experience of the week. And also, I am doing my very first Tagalog makeup tutorial to honor my roots, to honor the country where I was born, which is the Philippines. On that note, maraming salamat. And Ate Sonia, please promote yourself and your last words, both in Tagalog as well as in Japanese or in Nihongo. Yes.
Sa warimashita. Okay. じゃあ、日本語で、目は心の鏡。目は心の鏡。The eyes are the mirror of the soul. So, ladies, regarding surgery, everything is in timing. Everything in timing. So you just don't do it. I want this. I want it. It is time. It took me. I was 30 years old when I started my surgery. So because that's what I set up. So everything in timing. So just timing and be mentally ready and financially ready. And of course, I'm Sonia, the only one, Sonia Agbayani, and I'm a fashion stylist. I work in production, and now I'm part of the Transistor TV. Thank you, Ms. Ali, Ms. Angel, and Ms. Lee, my sisters. And make sure more is more. So think twice.
And to all of you, we celebrate you again. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much, Julie, Elvira, Rampage Math, Michael Gregory, Edward, Pelayo. If there's anyone that I missed, Elvira. Thank you so much to everyone. We celebrate all of you, and thank you for being up with us here on Channels TV. And we love you.
We love you. Bye. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Sinclair, by the way. Dr. Sinclair was my surgeon before. Bye.
Dr. Sinclair, thank you.
Dr.